252.
Okay, for all the news and reviews and pop culture that's right to type, 252 top stories. Okay, Harp, what do we have first?
Weird Al Yankovic finally got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. During his acceptance speech at the ceremony, he had one small, completely reasonable request. Please don't pickaxe my star. I know it's all the rage these days, but that's not cool. Unless at some point in the future I do something unfathomably monstrous and evil, in which case, sure, fine, okay, go ahead. That is so weird.
That is so weird,
Yeah.
Al.
Yeah.
He's such a good sport.
I mean, who was it? I mean, I know that they pickaxed a couple of people. I think everybody in the whole, like, well, not everyone, but a couple of the people who were implicated in, like, the Me Too things, they started popping their stars up.
Yeah.
You know, if they had one.
Right, and some other person too, head Cheeto in charge, has got pickaxed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, Weird Al, he doesn't need any accolades. That's just frosting on the cake. He's a legend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Star, no star, he's a legend. So I'm glad they put the star down.
I am. I'm glad. I'm happy for him.
Well, I mean,
long
you gotta
career.
pay for it. So.
Well, yeah, let's
And
not.
lobby for it and all that.
Let's
But
not.
okay, all right. Hey, I don't want to take
You're
away the
still a
mystique.
star on
It's
the
okay.
Hollywood Walk of Fame,
I
man.
don't have one.
JB.
All right, August 29th is a tough date for the family of the late, great Michael Jackson. This year's birthday is a milestone, 60 years since MJ was born, and his children and other loved ones did not let it go unnoticed. Even though it might have been a more low profile than in previous years, Jackson's elder son Prince, now 21, and his 20-year-old daughter Paris, who along with 16-year-old Blanket,
Shorty enough
name,
Well,
horrible
well,
name,
yeah,
It's his nickname.
It's his nickname.
lost Michael to an overdose of propofol in 2009. Regularly remember their famous dad on social media. But on his diamond birthday, they kept their feelings to themselves. Prince did post what sounded like an order to acknowledge Michael's birthday from a fan, then explained that he'd chosen to remember the King of Pop in a different, intimate, and personal way.
His kids look just like him.
I think it's no, they don't. But which is crazy. I don't know why he said that. But it's with the kids. I would have to say. I mean, having such an uber famous father and someone who they lost so tragically. Now we're creeping up almost 10 years ago that happened.
9 years.
And yes, it's so crazy that if Michael Jackson still would have been alive, he'd have been 60. So would Prince, as well as Madonna, just turned 60 as well this year.
Ooh, 666.
Yeah,
Yes.
crazy, right?
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
And I mean, it's so we still feel that loss. I mean, a buddy of mine posed a question at work the other day of all the greats that have passed away, like all of the music people who have passed away. If you can bring one back, who would you bring? Now, without even thinking about it, I said Michael.
I would say Prince.
Prince.
Ooh, I can go for the tiebreaker. I would say David Bowie.
You know what?
Yeah, I take Prince over David Bowie even, and I'm listening to him currently in my car while I'm driving.
You know what? And
Nice.
what he said, which kind of threw me, he said Whitney Houston, and I sat back and I was like, you know what? Whitney, man, her voice
Oh yeah.
was so powerful. And again, we know that most of these people they've died. It was some of it was to overdose.
A lot of it was drug
accidental
overdose.
Yeah, and it's so sad that we lost a lot of these heroes to that way. But for them to,
I'm changing mine to George Michael.
And
No,
again-
you know what? I'm changing to Prince. Yeah.
there's a lot that way.
Well, Prince wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people. It wasn't just his music. He was, though not known by everyone, but celebrated in his other songs from other bands.
Of course.
Particularly the Bangles. The
Oh, yeah.
only hit that Prince didn't write was Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
So if it was on the radio and it was the Bangles, that was a Prince song.
Oh yeah.
And then what was that? Also, was it Sinead O'Connor?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing compares to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that was hers. But enough about Prince on the Michael Jackson story. About as quickly as it hacked into our brains with his sumptuous visuals and shockingly prescient and political paranoia, Mr. Robot is now ending.
Is it really?
Yes. as announced, the 4th season of USA Network's Golden Globe winning series will be its last, debuting a final batch of 12 episodes sometime in 2019. And I personally, without all the extra hyperbole, am actually sad about this one. I absolutely 100% fell in love with this show. It didn't have a lot of, I don't remember. Well, let me correct myself. I don't remember this show having a lot of press and a lot of trailers and stuff. I happened upon it. You know, I saw something with the lead. Oh God, what's his name? Rami Malek or Rami Malek? I can't remember Ali's name.
Rami Malek. Yeah.
But I remember Big Tom was talking about the guy was in a movie that they were shooting out there. He was staying at the hotel. And he was like, "Hey, remember to do with the big guys from this?" And I remembered it from that. And when I saw this thing, and I was like, "Oh, he's doing a show." It was a great show. Great show.
Oh yeah.
And I love all the
And
female leads, and we're also living a lot of the storylines. We're actually living it right now. So great show. If you haven't seen Mr. Robot,
I haven't seen it.
you should get on board. Watch the first 3 seasons. Season 4 is about to drop next year. Now the review for this week: Insatiable. For years, Patty was overweight, which caused her to be bullied, ignored, and underestimated by people around her. But she is now thin and seeking revenge against those who ever made her feel bad about herself through fat shaming. Enter Bob Armstrong, a disgraced attorney with a passion for coaching beauty pageants, or beauty pageant contestants. As one of the only people who sees Patty's potential, he takes her under his wing. First, as a legal client, I believe she was accused of killing somebody, so he had to take her under his wing. Or actually, I think it was aggravated assault. And then as a pageant contestant, Bob hopes to coach Patty to the top of the pageant game, but he and his wife, Coralie, which was actually beautifully played by Alyssa Milano, haven't seen her working in quite some time, and she's still
always good to see
got
her
it. She's
on.
still got it. I've had a huge crush for many. It was always age appropriate because she was a kid. I was also a kid at the time.
Yeah.
I had a crush on her. Teenager, adult.
As long as that crush didn't go backwards, then you
It
were
didn't
okay.
go backwards.
Yeah.
No, it never. I didn't go see Commando and be like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Coralie have no idea how deep her rage goes or how far she will go to exact revenge on the people she feels have wronged her.
All right, I can admit I have not seen nor
Now,
heard of this.
This show is starring Debbie Ryan, and Debbie Ryan's like one of those Disney Channel girls. And a lot of these Disney Channel girls, what they do is they've been on in my opinion, I've seen a lot of these girls, they're on Disney Channel for so long as the kitty thing,
Yeah.
that when they come out, they always seem to do something very wild and outrageous.
As
And I believe this
Yeah.
girl, she started out like on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody,
Mhm.
and then she had another show called Jessie. And you know,
Oh,
I have
I've
younger
seen that.
kids, so I've seen these shows. I've seen her playing on these shows over the years, and now she's you know voluptuous and vamp and
You don't
all this
have
other
to have
stuff.
kids to watch those shows. I watch them too.
But you also have girls, so it actually makes more sense.
I didn't
that
watch
you,
it with them.
oh, you just,
No, I'm kidding.
so
I watched it
going
with them.
backwards,
I watched it with them.
you would watch Commando and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
Yeah. So, all right, well, I'll check that out. Ralphie D recommends pornography.
Are
Check
you
it out.
talking an actual movie or just the clips that you see on the internet?
Yeah, porn. Check it out. www.porn.com.
It'll change your life.
I'm Ralphie D, and that's news to me.
I'm Coolwater Kurt. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm Johnny Blaze. I just want to plug my man AM on Comics Most Wanted. Like him, favorite, follow
Yay.
him. This is 252 News and Reviews, where you hear it first.
I think that's your best one yet.
That was good. That was good.
Well done.
You didn't stumble over anything.
I've been stumbling all day, so I had to do
I
it right
know,
sometime.
yeah.
I'm Adonis. Pull yourself together.